Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing brilliant this morning, this afternoon, whatever time you're listening. And what I want to touch on in this video is why recruitment is actually going to make you either rich or wealthier than you already are. And this can be done obviously part-time, full-time, working for people, whatever. Now I'm going to go through some facts, some figures. I don't want this to be a motivational video or anything like that, because I'm definitely not one of those guys. I'm more of a demotivational guy. But what I want to touch on, and I've got some notes. Now, I've said it before on this channel, but I just want to reiterate it. We're moving into the golden age of recruitment. So it happens every, I would say 8 to 10 years. And sorry for the light coming in, but every 8 to 10 years. So most of the big players, or the people that dominate their niche sector now in the recruitment space in the UK, all started in 2008, 2009. Now, what happened was there is always a reset and a reshuffle. Now, we've just gone through a very long reset, and we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel with regards to client acquisitions and business growth. At the moment, most companies are just trying to survive, and that's been like the case for over a year. So the people that are actually thriving are the freelance, independent, sole business owners, where they have a very low level of risk associated with their business, so they can't actually take much of a hit. Their only running cost is going to be their wages, if they take any. But again, we're moving into the golden age. So why this is important is because if you're starting to build a niche recruitment agency, like I always suggest, this is probably the time where you're going to start to actually see some clients come back. If you're actually winning clients now, and they're good clients, and you're actually making placements now, you're doing very well. It's probably going to go up maybe 10 times, maybe 20 times the revenue, the client acquisition amount, because there is going to be less competition. Now, I see it all the time. People on LinkedIn saying, I've had enough of recruitment. People I know that have actually quit recruitment simply because they couldn't hack it. They just feel like, I had one of my friends say to me the other day, look, no matter what I do, it's always out of my control. The client messes up, the candidate messes up, something goes wrong, they don't start. So he just goes, I've just had enough of it. He's gone into software sales or something, and he just wants to do that. He's building a software and he's just going to sell it, because he said, once I get the customer and they pay, that's done. For me, that's not very exciting, and I definitely don't want to go down that route, if I'm honest. But golden age, is what we're looking at, and there is a lot less competition. I would say people are still on furlough now. I mean, I know people that haven't actually, people I used to work with like 4 or 5 years ago are still on furlough from the 21st, 3rd of March all the way up. They're literally just on furlough and they haven't worked since. So lucky them. However, good luck trying to explain that to an employer why you haven't worked, or try to seek alternative employment. So the redundancy part is huge. So we're looking at a less competition in the market. It has been about new business, but a lot of people, picture this, like there's a recruitment agency and the boss says to all these consultants that were, just tugging it along, making a few placements here and there, and he says, everyone needs to win new business. We're going to make 100 calls a day. Those people end up leaving the industry because they're like, I can't work like that. No one ever reacts positively to any news like that, or you're going to lose your job or anything like that. That's the worst piece of advice anyone can say as a business owner. You just wreck the whole team. So that's happened across the board, every single sector, and that's your competition. People have just done business development for 3 months and then just realize it's so worthless to actually do it. We should have just been account managing or going back to historic accounts, seeing from there, because it's very difficult to win business during this time. If you want a sustainable account that's going to bring you loads and loads of revenue, doing it the way that most people tell you to do it, or people without experience telling you how to do it, like your boss, it's never going to work. So this brings me to sort of like point number 3. Now, a lot of people say to me, like, the barrier to entry is so low. No matter, even if there has been a reset, there's going to be a time where there's loads of people flooding into the market, like us guys. Obviously, there's people trying to win new business all the time. It doesn't matter if it's a new company, an old company. It doesn't matter. There's no difference between a big player having 12 consultants or they wouldn't really be big if they're 12 consultants, but a big player having 200 consultants cold calling the local area, as opposed to one person setting up. There's no difference. They're both doing the same thing and they're both hitting the market. So it doesn't matter. It's just structurally businesses are changing. So what they're looking at is not so much a model where they want to just have as many staff as possible. What they actually want to do is have less staff than possible, because if there is a pandemic or recession, like, companies aren't really hiring now, recruitment agencies. They're only hiring trainee people. But if they're sort of looking at, how can I put it? If they're looking at actually hiring experienced staff aren't going to move, because if something happens again, they're not going to get furloughed and they're not looking to lose their job, even though they're very experienced. So in terms of, going back to the client section, yeah, if you are winning clients now, you are doing extremely well. And you can't be at the stage where, all the relationships are going to be built now. Yeah, if you miss this boat, yeah, you're going to miss potentially. And it's not to say you couldn't win £1 million client. That's going to grow with you. Now, often or not, you see these big accounts and you think, how did someone get on with those? You actually got on when they're actually very small. I've had instances where I've recruited for people for 2 years and I've seen, it started off with 12 employees and now it's got 60 employees. And they're just coming to you exclusively because they know you know the business. They're looking at that sort of thing. Yeah, so I can't see why you wouldn't start to, you see an account and you pick it up and then you start to recruit for them and you think, oh, they're just a small company. These companies can grow with you. You're still a small company. You're still working in a small company potentially. And you have to grow with each business. And that's probably my advice now. So work with all the companies you can at the moment. Certain sectors are actually starting to pick up from what I see as well. It's not just the healthcare, the food production, the driver section, construction. Construction is actually booming really well. Now, I'm coaching a lot of people that have gone into construction. USA is doing fantastic in comparison to the UK. UK is still a little slow. I find the US market is a much faster moving market, with just regards to, the information people are telling me and from what I see people that I'm coaching doing. So, sort of moving forward, it's why am I making this video? Don't give up, basically. There's nothing to say that you can't actually win business large accounts now, rather than actually going back and not winning accounts, if that makes any sense. So basically, if you don't do anything now, you're going to regret it in 3 to 6 months. This is moving into a golden age. You've probably got a 2-year window where the market just goes back to normal oversaturation. There's a little window where you can have your little entry point now and then sort of start to make, start to win new business, start to grow your business. Everything starts small. And that's the point I'm trying to make with this video. So I've rambled on, but I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you've got any questions, let me know. Take care.